All right. Yeah. Rock and roll, man. Oh, man. Come on. So, let's get the camera right. What do you got? Cover up my hair. So I haven't washed my hair in like fucking, I don't know, 4 days or so. So, yeah. Anyhow, we'll get with the disclaimers first, I guess. Well, you know, I would say, do not try this at home if you're watching. Do not try this at home. I'm a professional. I've had years and years of experience and training in what I'm doing, so do not try this at home. I was homeless for 10 years, living on the street, eating out of dumpsters, getting chased by cops and business owners and Karens and Kens, and yeah. And before that, I was a dirty white boy, grew up on a poor family on a farm in Idaho. So, and then after being homeless for 10 years, I ended up doing street outreach for the homeless service provider field for 10 years. So I've got a lot of experience in trading and tens of thousands of hours of experience in training and all this shit. And so I would say, do not try this at home unless you have a experience doing so. But now I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, no, I've been doing this shit for many years. I've been trained by leading experts in the field, all that shit. So like when I talk about homelessness and poverty and stuff, it's like I've been doing it forever. That's all I know. Homelessness and poverty. And I don't say this in like as a pity story. Like people say, "Oh, I mean, he must be trying to get a handout." Dude, like anybody that knows me, I ran a channel. My YouTube career, my lucrative YouTube career, started back in 2016. I've never asked for a single penny ever. And since 2016 up until now, I probably averaged at least one video a week on my channels. I've had channels where I had whatever, not like massive subscribers, but I had like 300 to 400 subscribers. Never once, and I kept those channels running for years. And any and all those people that were subscribed to me and watched me, no, I've never asked for a single penny. And I've never received a single. I had people contacting me wanting to donate money to my channel. And were asking, how do I donate money to your channel? And I just, I never accepted a single dime or penny ever from my channel. Ever. And so, and it became a joke. And I started saying, well, if you want to donate to my channel, I have representatives on nearly every street corner of every major city in this country and nationwide. So if you want to donate to my channel, just go down the street, walk down the street, and you'll see some guy that looks kind of like me. He kind of looks homeless, like a lazy, mentally ill, drug-addicted, criminal, vagrant, degenerate who's failed to take personal responsibility for his life. And it's usually, he might even be asking for change or holding a sign or something. And that's how if you want to donate to my channel, I have representatives across the nation. You just go up to him, hand him $1 or whatever. And there you go. That's it. That's how big I am. I have representatives on every fucking street corner, every major street corner of every major city across the fucking nation. Right? But no, I've never accepted a single penny. But yet people are constantly saying, "Oh, I must be trying to, I'm running some kind of scam, looking for handouts." Yeah. Anyhow. So, but yeah, the subject of poverty and stuff, man, like I said, do not try this at home. Or at least that's my disclaimer. I cannot be held responsible for anyone else. Anybody that tries to take this subject on, I can't be held responsible. I do not encourage people to take on the subject of homelessness and poverty. Unless you're a big channel with a big platform, then it's your responsibility. See, so I get a lot of misunderstanding sometimes, I feel like, from people, which is fine. I totally understand it. But see, then that compels me to make more videos because I feel like I have to clarify like what exactly it is that I mean and what I'm saying. And, you can only say so much in a 20-minute video. But, so it's kind of like, dude, like if a person has a big channel that's like he's got a large audience and is showing up and popular and trending, he or she, whoever it is, they have a responsibility, right? Like, they should be talking about certain things. Would you agree? Of course you would. If some guy or gal has a big platform and is claiming that they are doing their channel to be of service to the community and they want to inform the community on what's important in the truther community, like they have a responsibility, right? And they're drawing all this attention to their channel and claiming that they have this important message to bring you and stuff. See, that person is held to a higher standard, and they should be held to a higher standard. And so they should be talking about homelessness if homelessness is an important subject. So then the argument or debate becomes, well, is homelessness and homeless poverty an important subject in this country that people with a voice should be talking about? And then you'll have people that say, no, all those homeless people, they should just rot in hell. They brought it upon themselves, right? And you'll have people with platforms that are saying that, right? So I don't want anybody to get me twisted. That I think that look, again, do not try this at home is what I would say. If you start trying to talk about homelessness and poverty, you will get targeted for termination, bro. Like, nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear the truth about that. And that's because nobody wants to hear the truth. So I've got these little quotes these little gems that I've found in movies, and that's one gem from the movie The International, where in the scene the guy says, the thing you need to know about the truth is there's what people want to hear, there's what people want to believe, there's everything else, then there's the truth. That's how much people care about the truth. So, and see, that is the truth. That is the truth. And that's why popular and trending channels do not talk about, there's certain subjects they don't talk about. It's not because they're not important, it's because they know the thing you need to know about the truth is that there's what people want to hear, there's what people want to believe, there's everything else, then there's the truth. So if you want to know what people want to hear and what people want to believe, go to popular and trending. If you want to know about the truth, you're not going to find it in popular and trending. Do you understand? Like, right? And so, but see, that's a inverted reality. It shouldn't be that way. What's in popular and trending should be the truth, right? Because everybody is about the truth. Isn't that what, you know? And I'm more specifically referring to BitChute because YouTube has become such a, like, big, massive clusterfuck of whatever. There is not really any focus on YouTube. Whereas on BitChute, there is a massive focus on anti-censorship, free speech, and the truth. BitChute is like the main quote-unquote truther platform. Whereas YouTube is like, you're welcome to come here and do video tutorials on makeup, on how to put up makeup and shit. BitChute isn't like that at all. But when BitChute, as a result, is worse than YouTube, well, or as bad or worse than YouTube, then there's a problem. So a lot of times, a lot of the stuff that I focus on is in reference to BitChute. Because YouTube is a free-for-all. YouTube is like, if you want to do videos on makeup and like the stupidest shit, like that's totally common on YouTube. Like it's like a long time ago, But if you want to put out the truth, BitChute is that's where it's that's where it's all like the main one. Like Odyssey and Rumble are just milquetoast versions, where it's like Odyssey and Rumble are the hoity-toity platforms for people who need everything to look pretty and whitewashed and pretty and milquetoast, Whereas BitChute is like, fuck you, this is the truth, right? Like BitChute and Odyssey is for people who need stuff to be sugar coated and worded nicely. That's what Rumble and Odyssey are about. Is sugar coating everything for the milquetoast, hoity-toity, yuppified version of the truth. That's why I want the raw truth. I don't want the sugar-coated truth, right? I know I'm all over the place. I don't care. This is just me talking. I'm trying to go through and knock out like this laundry list of different misconceptions people might have about what I'm talking about and shit like this. But so, like, when I'm talking about it's the J's, I'm specifically targeting BitChute because BitChute is the facade that BitChute presents is that the raw truth is on BitChute. It's just the raw, unedited, just the raw truth. And that's what people like me, we just want to hear the raw truth. We don't want the sugar-coated version that they have on Rumble. See, Rumble and Odyssey, the symbol and representation of Rumble and Odyssey presents this idea that you can find the truth here that's like whitewashed and watered down and put in a nice version for your virgin ears so that you don't have to hear the raw. You don't have to hear the raw truth. We'll give it to you in a sugar-coated, watered-down version that you can handle because you're kind of you're still kind of yuppified and you're still kind of just like, whereas BitChute, the way BitChute presents itself is that it's just raw, unedited truth, right? See, anyways, but these popular and trending channels on Odyssey, Rumble, and BitChute must be held to a higher standard. Like, that's why I won't even use Rumble and Odyssey because the whole idea of Odyssey and Rumble is to excuse the sugar-coated version of the truth. Like, here we even have a platform for the sugar-coated version of the truth, right? Like, why would you want a sugar-coated version of the truth? That's an oxymoron. That's a complete contradiction. Why would you want a sugar-coated, watered-down, polished up, version of the truth? That's not the truth. So really, the only of these platforms that's like presenting its outward appearances is, hey, we're here to give you the raw truth. Like, we don't give a fuck about sugarcoating and all this shit, right? Is BitChute. BitChute's the only one. But BitChute is at least as bad as Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube, which is what makes BitChute worse because BitChute is claiming that their standard is raw truth, but it's not. And it's becoming more and more milquetoast and watered down and just fake and gay every day. It's more fake, arguably. And so when I'm going off on tangents complaining about this, it's the Jay shit. Of course, that's not on YouTube. No. And it's only a sugar-coated version of that on Odyssey and Rumble. It's only a sugar-coated, watered-down version of that on Odyssey and Rumble. But on BitChute, it's just like everybody's fucking got their ass hanging out. It's the Jays, where it's totally obvious. And the majority of this, it's the Jays shit, they're all fucking agents. They're fucking, not like the term glowtards. They're all glowtards. They're not even real. They're fucking CIA, FBI motherfuckers that are intentionally injecting that all over into BitChute. And then you got tons of useful idiots that think it's real, and so they all jump on board. And so then everybody's just like retarded automatons. It's the Jays. Everything's the Jays. Everything's the Jays. Everything's the Jays. World War II's the Jays. World War I's the Jays. Vietnam War's the Jays. Everything's the Jays. Everything's the Jays. It's like they're dumb, dude. It is so fucking stupid, bro. That it's fucking... it's mass psychosis, first of all, is what it is, and it's extreme narcissistic psychopathy. It's the Jays, everything's the Jays, ha ha, everything's like they're psycho, dude. Totally psycho. And I'm not standing up to it. Okay, it reminds me of the song. There's a Megadeth song everybody knows, in which everybody should know, Holy Wars, the punishment due. And at the end of Holy Wars, punishment due, he's like, the vocal or the lyrics say, now I must scream of the overdose. Like, it's not that I'm trying to stand up against, it's like I'm trying to keep this shit from getting in my head. This is how desperately the powers that be want this shit in your head, to the point where you literally have to like talk over it, where you're just like talking over it. All right, let me make it clear what I think, because look at all of this garbage everywhere that's constantly trying to force its way into my mind, to where I will start, it's the J, like next thing you know, I'm talking, no. So now I have to scream over all this insanity that, like, all these people, all this fucking mass psychosis narrative, I have to scream over it just to hear myself, just to listen to myself fucking think, right? And so I'm just doing it that's why I'm always saying these videos are for me, for my entertainment purpose. This is for me. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. So anyways, go back to the disclaimer. Don't try this at fucking home. This video is for my entertainment purposes only. Any and everything I say could be wrong. This is why I always say, do your research, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. So whatever, right? But anyways, so I'm kind of making this a long video just because that's what I want to do today. And but yeah, don't try this at home. I would suggest, the only people that have a responsibility to be talking about the seriousness of the subject of homelessness in this country are all these popular and trending channels on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. And none of them do. And by not talking about it, that says something. You know what that says? That tells you, the viewer, that that's not an important subject. And so they're lying. They're all liars. They're not telling you the truth, because that's the thing you need to know about the truth. There's what people want to hear. There's what people want to believe. There's everything else, and there's the truth. They're not telling you the truth. They know what their aggregate audience wants to hear, and so that's all they tell them is what they want to hear. And as a result, they're not being held to the standard that they impose on everyone else. They claim, I'm Truth Stream Media. That's the standard I hold myself to. I'm streaming truth. No, they're not. They're liars. Like, that is a total lie, dude. Because people don't want the truth. And everybody knows that people don't want the truth. The amount of people that want the truth is so minuscule. And these people are not telling the truth. They're telling their aggregate audience what their aggregate audience wants to hear. Just like the Joel Osteen in the church, who tells the church what the church wants to hear. Look at how rich Joel Osteen gets off of soothsaying. Do you think Joel Osteen is telling his audience the truth about what the Bible says? Absolutely not. He's getting rich lying to people. But see, is it a lie if that's what the people want? If people want to be lied to, is that a lie? To lie to them? If people are like, that's all they want is to be lied to, well, is it a lie to lie to them? Because that's what they want to hear. They want the lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies, right? They want the lies, dude. Like, everybody wants the lie. That's why a real truther will never be popular. A person that is truly trying to get truth out to people will never be popular and trending. Which is why I'm constantly railing on popular and trending. It's a complete hypocritical oxymoron. Popular and trending truther? Two words defined that don't make sense. Popular truther? 2 words defined that do not make sense. A popular truther. And you got popular truthers all over the place on the internet. Like, that's all there is. Anyways, don't try this at home. See, what I'm attempting to do is the impossible. The impossible. To inject homelessness, the subject of homelessness, into anything at all. It doesn't matter how important homelessness is. It can be more important than It's the Jays and everything else. To try to, no one will ever talk about it. Like, so what I'm doing is completely impossible. Look at the depression of the 20s and 30s. That's homelessness. But see, they didn't call it homelessness back then. Why not? What's up with the newspeak? Why you got to change shit around? They used to call them Okies. Well, why do we call homeless people today? Why don't we call them Okies? You don't see, people don't think about any of this shit. It's like, why? Why don't you think about any of this shit? Well, because I listened to Richie from Boston and he told me that, that it's a weather war. And so we're not stopping and thinking about any of this stuff because we are constantly, nonstop being psychologically bombarded. It's a psychological warfare. And there's a really good reason why they don't want you or me thinking or contemplating on any of this stuff regarding homelessness and Okies and the depression and the fucking economic depression that is happening right now that nobody ever talks about. The fucking masses and masses and masses of homeless people that are fucking everywhere. It's a fucking depression, you dumb fucks. And it has been for fucking like over a decade. And all these truthers don't even know that it's a fucking depression. Like, wow. But I thought they were the intelligent ones. See, it's the responsibility. If we are in a depression and have been, this country has been for fucking over a decade, it's the responsibility of True Stream Media to not only be talking about it, but have been talking about it for the last 10 years, and they're not. So therefore, what they're saying to their audience by not talking about it is that it's not happening. So they're lying to you. And it's not just True Stream Media. Every single popular and trending channel is a soothsaying liar for the purposes of money, property, and prestige. They should know about homelessness and understand all of this shit that I talk about on my channel. And they should know that the level of importance is up there at the top 3 most important things. Like, everybody, all these trending and channels should be talking about it and should have been talking about it over a decade ago and have it be part of their commentary. Like once a week, give us an update on the fucking economic depression that we're in that mainstream media refuses to tell you. And so again, I'm wasting my time trying to explain this to anyone who will listen. Because nobody wants to, because the truth isn't popular. I'm wasting my time. This is why I say don't try this at home. And taking on the subject of homeless poverty is mission impossible. Like Morpheus says, I'm not going to lie to you. Anybody who has tried to take this subject on of homelessness poverty has stood alone and fucking died, man. Look at Martin Luther King and the Poor People's Campaign. Dude, Mad Max, how many people, dude, Martin Luther King and the Poor People's Campaign, like they talk about how they're going to release the MLK files. That's a lie, because I already know why Martin Luther King, why they assassinated him, and they're never going to tell you why they assassinated Martin Luther King. But all you have to do is look into it, and it's totally obvious why they took Martin Luther King out. It's because Martin Luther King was starting to see that homeless poverty is the biggest issue in this fucking country. And once he started getting vocal about it and started the Poor People's Campaign, that's just coincidentally when they killed him. The Poor People's Campaign. Nobody knows this. I can't believe people don't know this. How is it that I know this and nobody knows this? Well, first of all, we're not taught that. Well, why are we not taught that? When it's all you have to do is look into type in Google the Poor People's MLK, the Poor People's Campaign. Of course, they're not going to tell you that's why they assassinated Martin Luther King, but all you have to do is do your own research, and the conclusion is obvious. That's why they killed him, because he was about to expose the whole fucking thing about all this poverty and homelessness plaguing this entire country, while all the rich people and shit are hiding the truth. They're fucking, dude, and nothing has changed. You know, anybody that takes on the subject of homelessness and poverty is going to get their fucking brains blown out like Martin Luther King did, bro. 100%. 100%. Dude, they fucking came after me in 2022 and put a death threat out on me, tried to frame me for murder and arson, and burned my fucking whole place down and practically everything I owned. I barely escaped with my life, and nobody even knows that. Nobody even knows it. And the few people that I have talked to, I don't care what they say. I know they don't believe me. That they fucking came after me, dude. Because I'm the angry hobo, bro. I'm the guy, the only motherfucker, and all of you fucking know it. Gypsy Fox, you know I'm the only motherfucker who has ever run a channel that's specifically only about homelessness. That's all my channel was about. That's why they came after me, man. They fucking tried to kill me, dude. Well, I mean, they could kill me anytime they want to. They fucking came after me, bro. Burnt my shit down. Put death threats out on me. Sent a bunch of a witch cult after me. And nobody knows. Imagine being a truther. You get completely ignored because the truth isn't popular. And then even though the truth isn't popular, over years you're able to generate a few hundred subscribers, and you're fucking putting out the truth on the depression and homelessness and poverty and how we've been in an economic depression for the last 10 years, and none of these truthers have been telling you the truth about that. Imagine that. Imagine being like the only motherfucker, and then they fucking come after you because you're the only one telling the truth amidst this sea of fucking snakes, dude. They're all fucking snakes. All they care about is money, property, and prestige. They are the Jews. The only real, relevance there is to the whole "it's the Jays" is the slang definition of the word Jew. Those are in reference to the slang definition of the word Jew, yes, it is the Jews, dude. 1,000% it's the Jews. If you're referencing the slang definition of a Jew, they don't even know how right they are. That is true. But they're not referencing the slang definition of the word. But yes, if you want to reference the slang definition of the word, it is the Jays, bro. It's totally the Jays, bro. And more inverted reality, more inversions of reality and newspeak and the changing of the meanings of words, right? I mean, dude, I could go on and on. I could just go on and on and on. Again, do not try this at home. The only people that should be talking about what I'm talking about are the people in popular and trending. Anyone else, I would suggest, take great care. Be very careful because, see, dude, I've been studying this for like 20 years. Like obsessively studying all this for 20 years. So if you haven't been obsessively studying the subject of homelessness and homeless poverty for 20 years and gotten trained by leading experts in the field, along with all this other research and field study and all this experience, if you don't, then first of all, you gotta understand that, dude, like, this is a massively deep rabbit hole. This just isn't something where you're like, oh, well, you know, I know about homelessness too, and I'll just start talking about homelessness. Dude, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand. So that's all. I'm just cautioning people. If you don't try this at home, bro. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not fucking joking, dude. They came after me in 2022, October of 2022. Burnt my shit down. Put death threats out on me. Sent a witch cult, a fucking gang stalking witch death cult after me, dude. And if that witch death cult would have killed me, they would have swept it all under the rug, because they don't care, right? That's the whole point of sending the witch cult after me. Of course, they could, if whoever it is, the powers that be, perceived me as a big enough threat, yeah, they could easily just take me out, like, boom, right now, in the middle of this video, just poof. But they don't see me as a threat, you know? But they saw me as a big enough threat where they fucking burnt my shit down. You know, they pulled you ever heard the story The Messenger? Remember the movie The Messenger about the guy who was trying to expose the fucking crack cocaine conspiracy in the 80s? They came after him, didn't they? Well, why didn't they just have a satellite, you know, blow his brains out? Why did they let the Messenger guy go on so long and get a big giant, like, fucking, you know, he got like awards for doing his articles exposing the truth about the cocaine epidemic and how the CIA were the ones that were you know, distributing all that cocaine. Why did they let that article get published? And they, you know, how come it took the powers that be so long to fucking take that guy out who was exposing the fucking crack cocaine shit in the 80s during the Say No to Drugs? Why didn't they just immediately just take him out? No, they let him talk. They let him put, you know. You need to watch that movie, The Messenger. Or it's called Kill the Messenger. Damn it. But anyways, I'm telling. See, people don't think that homelessness is an important enough subject that's going to get them coming after you, and that's why they'll be like, "Oh, I'll go ahead and talk about, you know, homelessness." And also, people don't realize how serious the subject of homelessness is. They don't know that that's why Martin Luther King was assassinated, because he was getting ready to expose the truth about homelessness and homeless poverty. You don't understand. If you don't understand this, that's why they assassinated Martin Luther King. If you don't understand the level of secrecy, like they make fucking the subject of homeless like top secret, and it's one of the, dude, homeless is one of these subjects that they continuously are constantly making sure that people are totally misinformed and disinformed about homelessness. Why do you think they would go out of their way and take that much trouble to suppress the information surrounding the subject of homelessness and homeless poverty in America? Why would they do that? It must be pretty important to keep that a secret if they go to that much trouble to sweep it under the rug constantly. It must be. It's goddamn, like, the amount of shit that they go through to make sure nobody's ever talking about homelessness and that we're living in a depression right now. The amount of fucking shit they go through to make sure that all media is so controlled that nobody's ever talking about it. I mean, it's got to be like one of the biggest fucking things, most important things to the establishment to keep hidden and secret and making sure that nobody's talking about it and suppressing, you know. That's how important it is to them. So again, don't try this at home. I've been doing this for decades. I've got fucking so many tens of thousands of hours experience doing this and studying this and researching it and getting trained by leading experts in the field on it and everything else, that it's like, you wouldn't even believe me if I told you how many fucking tens of thousands of hours of experience I have with this in training, research, field application, etc. So like, I know this subject inside out, upside down, backwards, forwards. In my sleep, I can fucking like it's nothing to me, dude. I know everything, like, practically there is to know about it. And does True Stream Media? Absolutely not. They know nothing about it. Does the Corbett Report? Absolutely not. They know nothing about it. Does any of these guys? Like, absolutely not. They know absolutely nothing about any of it. Practically nothing about any of it. And yet, that's what it's all about. That's what this is all about, dude. It's really sad. That's what I'm saying, dude. These people in popular and trending should be held to their own standard. Like, why are you not telling us the truth? And so this is why, you know, I pick on Jim Rizzoli and people like this. I'm like, why are you not telling the truth? And Jim Rizzoli is just a case in study, or a case in point. Every single motherfucker in popular and trending on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube, they are not telling the truth because they're soothsayers. And soothsayers make money, and they're propagandists. Whether they even know it or not, they're propagandists. See, I devoted, you can see the passion when I'm talking about this. Dude, I devoted fucking 7 or 8 years to doing a channel where I was pumping out 2 or 3 videos, at least 2 or 3 videos a week for 7 years, talking specifically, exclusively, only about this. And one of the reasons is because nobody's talking about it. When it's like, dude, we live in a depression right now, and nobody's talking about it. And what are they talking about? Weather weapons, interdimensional beings, Nephilim giants. It's the J. This is all shit, dude. I can't fucking believe the amount of people that are so stupid. They can't see it for what it is. Idiocracy now, motherfuckers. Idiocracy now. So, we're all in a world of fucking hurt. The pain is coming. The pain is here. The pain is now. The pain is now. The pain is here. The pain is coming. And nothing is going to stop it. No amount of money in the world is going to stop it. No amount of fake fucking money. No amount of lies and deception is going to stop it. No amount of prestige is going to stop it. The pain is now. The pain is here. The pain is fucking coming. No amount of fentanyl is going to change it. No amount of fucking drinking oneself into oblivion is going to stop this. So you better have made friends with pain by now. Because it's not going away. Right? The pain is coming, motherfuckers. And it's already here. It's been here this whole time. You just been, popping them big pharma pills that your doctor has been giving you all these years so much that you've numbed yourself to what's really going on. And you love listening to all these soothsayers that are telling you something like there's something happening. There is nothing happening but fucking pain. And you've been popping those big pharma pills for so long that you don't even know that's all there is. You've been, you've been suckling on those vices of yours so fucking long. You don't even know how bad it really is and what it is. The pods are coming. The pods of pain are fucking coming, you stupid motherfuckers. They've been here all along. All you gotta do is walk downtown in a major city at all these homeless people. The pods are here, you stupid motherfuckers. And they're not going away. And the pods are coming for you, you stupid motherfuckers that you think you're gonna escape all this. Yeah, one way or another. It's coming for you. One way or another. It happened in 2019 and 2020 with the lockdowns. Dude, that shit is not going away. The pods, all these homeless, you've been living in an economic depression probably almost all your life and you've never even known it. Because they've given you an out. You can either suffer economic depression or lick the boot. And so all of you chose to just lick the boot. Well, I'm going to go ahead and lick the boot. And so then that's what you do all your life. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, licking boot. And then you can go on the internet and brag about how you don't lick the boot. And everyone else are the bootlickers, not you, right? Yeah, right. You see that everywhere. Everybody's bragging and drinking that wine and bragging about how they're not bootlickers. Why do you think they got what they got? Why do you think they're not living in a fucking trailer in the desert out in the middle of nowhere like me? With nothing. Barely scraping by. Because they're bootlickers. Bootlickers. So they lick boot all day and then on their free time, all they do is brag about how they're not the bootlickers and how those terrible bootlickers are ruining everything. The bootlicker. So they had given society an out. They gave you two choices. Either go live in economic depression or just lick the boots. Lick these boots. And your average person says, well, I don't want to, live in economic depression like all those lazy, mentally ill, drug-addicted, criminal, vagrant degenerates who failed to take personal responsibility for their lives through poor life decisions. So I think I'll go over here and lick some boots. And then years go by, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. All they do is lick the boot, And years go by, and they don't see any economic depression, even though they're living in the middle of one. And they're just licking the boot. That's all they do. This is what work is today. That's all work is. That's why you don't see people laboring. You don't see people physically laboring. What does a job look like today? Sitting in front of a computer. Bootlicking in front of a computer. I'm a hard worker. Anyways, now, dude, see, I could go on and on and on. So again, do not try this at home. I'm telling you, you fucking start scratching the surface on what I'm talking about, they will come after you. They will burn your shit down. They will attempt to destroy your life. And they came so close to succeeding and completely destroying me that I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. If you're not prepped up and prepared for what's coming, they'll fucking easily destroy you. Easily. I'm lucky that they didn't destroy me, dude. It is by no virtue of mine that they didn't fucking completely destroy me. And it came so fucking close, dude. Like, so whatever. And I don't care. Nobody believes me, and I don't care. People can pretend like they believe me. I don't care that you don't believe me, dude. I don't fucking care. Just saying, don't try this at home. Or if you do, just beware. I'm telling you. This is the truth that they don't want people talking about. And if you start talking about it, and you get a wide enough audience, you get 200 or 300 subscribers, and you're talking about it, and you're hitting the head on the nail on this shit, out of the blue, your whole fucking life will go up in flames. See ya, boys.